Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and yesterday Apple released macOS Monterey 12 Beta 3. This is available to developers, and hopefully by the time you're watching this video, it will be out to public beta testers. They did not release it the same day they released this to developers, so usually it will come the day after if that's the case. Now, along with this, Apple also released iOS 15 Beta 3, iPadOS 15 Beta 3, watchOS 8 Beta 3, tvOS 15 Beta 3, and also a revised version of HomePodOS 15 Beta 3. So there was an issue with HomePod sort of bricking with earlier betas. They've since revised that. Now you can see this came in at 2.72 gigabytes. That's on the M1 MacBook Pro. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build number and talk about what's new. So we'll close this. We'll go to the Apple in the upper left, click About This Mac. And as you can see here, it says the version number is 12.0 and the build number is 21A5284E. And in this particular build, there are a few significant changes. Now let's go ahead and close this and talk about the first significant change, which has to do with Safari. So if we go into Safari, you'll see it looks pretty normal so far. But if I click on Apple, for example, you'll see that it looks more like it did with macOS Big Sur. And as you can see here, if we open up another tab and then we click on maybe Google, for example, it puts the tabs below it now. And you have your refresh button at the top like we did before. If I open another tab, go to Apple again, you'll see it sort of stacks your favorites right here. So you have your favorites below or your different tabs below. It just depends on which one you're going to, but it looks much more like macOS Big Sur. Now, this can be reverted back. So instead of having this sort of look, we can go back to what we had with Beta 1 and Beta 2 by going to View and then clicking on Show Separate Tab Bar. So if we click on that, now it looks like it did before. So when you click on the individual tabs, they sort of expand. And once you mouse over them, you get your refresh button. So this is sort of the look we had before that we have across iOS and iPadOS. But for those of you that don't like it, they've made it the default in Beta 3 to have sort of the older style design. And with this older design, if we go to View and then go to Customize Toolbar, we also have Share and Reload back. So some of these were removed before. They've now made them optional to put wherever you'd like. So you have that option now. If you want to put Reload wherever you want, you can do that. And those options are back. I actually prefer the previous version. I like to try something a little bit different and new, but you can change this to whatever you prefer. So it's nice to see that they've made that change for those that like to see it each way. I know a lot of people don't like this design, and I try and force myself to get used to it, but you can always use either version now. So that's nice to see them actually giving us the option. Now, if we go down to System Preferences and we go to Displays, under Displays, we'll wait for it to load here, click on Advanced, and you'll now see options that hint that we'll have universal control very, very soon. Unfortunately, it's not working yet, but you'll see it says, allow your cursor and keyboard to move between any nearby Mac or iPad. This doesn't work. In fact, my iPad is sitting right in front of my MacBook and it's not working right now at all. So unfortunately, it's not working with Beta 3 on either iPadOS 15 Beta 3 or macOS Monterey Beta 3, so neither one works. And then it also says push through the edge of the display to connect to nearby Mac or iPad. So if you turn that on, hit done, it doesn't really work. I wish it did, but so far it's not working in this particular version. Hopefully we'll see that very, very soon. And so as far as macOS Monterey Beta 3, that's pretty much it as far as new features in this update. There's not a lot as far as changes other than what I've mentioned already. Now, as far as known issues and resolved issues, well, if we go into the Feedback Assistant, we can see some of these. So we go into this, click on Inbox, and then click on macOS Monterey 12 Beta 3. If you're a beta tester, you can see all of the known issues and resolved issues. Now, they've fixed over 30 issues in this update. And so, for example, the first one says AirPlay receivers now appear in System Preferences, or sharing as expected. Also, there's known issues. There's over 30 issues that are known. So quite a few things that are resolved as we scroll down through. You'll see, for example, in Calendar, adding a video call to an event with an existing location no longer removes the previous location. That's fixed in Calendar. As far as known issues in Display Preferences, configuration is available for universal control preferences, but the feature support is not enabled in this release. So like I said before, universal control features are there, but you can't use them yet. And so you can see there's quite a few different ones. Fonts have been resolved so they render properly in PDFs, and much, much more. So there's a lot of fixed issues in this update and quite a few things that still exist. So Apple is working on that, but so far it seems fairly stable. And for those of you wondering if you should use this on your main device, I highly recommend against that if it's a production device. So if you're editing video with Final Cut Pro, for example, or maybe you're using Logic Pro for music or something else that's critical, I would skip it on your main device. However, if you want to try it out and it's a device that doesn't matter too much as far as if it has an issue, well, then you could definitely try it out. Otherwise, I would skip it for now. But we'll see more changes in the future. I'm sure with Safari at this point, maybe they'll revert back again with Beta 4 or not. We're not really sure. Now, as far as when to expect macOS Monterey Beta 4, and hopefully we'll see universal control enabled finally, generally we're on a 2-week cycle at this point. They released it on the 14th of July. With Beta 3, I would expect Beta 4 somewhere around the 28th of July, and then maybe we'll see maybe a week-to-week cycle after that in August. That's normally what they do with a final release in September. So look for that in a couple weeks. Of course, I'll keep you updated if there's any significant changes in it. If you found anything else, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already, though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.